name is Natalia and this is my knitting podcast. And this is time number 3 when I'm trying to record the video and something always going wrong. Or I cannot find the place where I have enough light, like not too bright, not too dark. Or I'm forgetting some projects or forgotten microphone. So we hope this is the right moment and I will record this video. So yes, I wasn't recording video about around the month, I think so. Yeah, I just couldn't find the right time for this. Yeah, bad excuses, but I hope I will get through all what I was finished and don't forget things, but if I forgot, then you can maybe look on my Instagram or on my Ravelry. I'm normally posting my pages on Ravelry projects. If you don't use Ravelry anymore, then I'm normally posting my finished projects and work in progress on my Instagram, and I will put all links down below this video. Yes, so I will start with what I'm wearing, and this is 2 finished objects, I believe, from last year or maybe even from previous. This is Tea by Sari Nordlund. I don't remember real name. Something like Monica's tea. She was referring to Monica from series Friends. Yeah, but it's really great pattern. It have like cup sleeves. It's not regular, but I think it's quite easy to knit, and it's really nice to wear with everything, like skirts, jeans. It suits for everything. I knit this from superwash yarn. It was superwash wool and a nylon. It's like sock yarn, but it's merino wool, so it's really soft and nice. There is just one thing with this yarn, that it stretches a lot. I need also this hairband, and this is my pattern. You can find this on Ravelry. I will put a link down below. It's free pattern. It's really easy to knit, but when another people was knitting after this, they had the problem that the lengths wasn't the same as for mine, and then I knit this in another yarn, and I use length wasn't the same, because this yarn is stretched a lot, and when you do this in garter stitch, it's like, yeah, I think you can do what lengths would you want. So yes, but headband and a t-shirt. It's become much more warmer here in Denmark, so that's a feeling like summer is coming, when you want to put t-shirts and some more bright clothes and just ready to go outside and spend as much time as it's just possible. Yeah, so that's about what I'm wearing, and I will go now for finished objects. So my biggest finished object is a sweater pullover by Sari Nordlund, and she released that today, the day when I'm recording. It's 23rd of April. So now you can find this sweater on the Ravelry, and it was really cool project to work on. Normally I like to knit my sweaters in a finger and weight yarn, because then they are not that warm and they're not that heavy, but that is so fast to knit a sweater in worsted weight yarn, and I just think that I will wear that when it's cold, or don't put I don't know, without jacket. But it's really nice. I don't have yarn with me what I need this from, but you can find there in my previous podcast. I talk more about yarn and was showing this, or you can find this on my Ravelry. If that also not good for you, then you can write me a message and I will write what yarn what I used. But yeah, I think it was really nice. It's a top down sweater. So first you make in collar. The pattern called for folded collar, but I know that for me it's kind of like too much. I like to wear shawls and another thing, so I don't like when it's a lot on my neck, that I feel like I can put shawl more. But when I have this double folded neck, then I feel like it's too much for shawl, and then I'm skipping this. But I think that the folded neck look really nice. They look like some sweaters from a shop. Yeah, they look really nice. So yeah, I avoid that, but the pattern calls for folded neck. Then you have this Colorwork yoke, and I think it's really nice. The repeats are not that big that you can. I think it's easy to remember, and I wasn't even using stitch markers for mark repeats. Just was really easy in it. So I cannot recommend this more. Then the pattern calls for short rows after the yoke to improve the fit. Then your back will sit higher on the neck, and so there was like one show rows after the colorwork portion on the back, and then another set of short rows to make this longer hem in the back, and it's also really nice fit. Yeah, so I really like this. As I was mentioned on previous podcast, or maybe I remember the making a post about this on Instagram. I don't remember if I tell this on here on the video, but I knit a yoke, and then I knit the body to the rib with 2 sets of short rows, and then I couldn't find the needles for the hem, and I look and cannot find, so I take this from another set, and then when I was switching to the ribbon, I saw that my needles are really similar in the size, and then I check the size of needles with this special tool where you have holes and can measure what size it is, and find out that I actually knit the body on needles that was for the hem. So my body was knitted not in that needle what it should be, and I measure my gauge. I didn't wash sweater, but I measure my gauge, and it was not that what should be in a pattern, because I didn't change to the right size of needles. So that was in the evening. I let it sit for the night, and because I tried sweater, it was okay for me. It wasn't bad, but I feel bad that I made this full mistake and don't change the needle. So I went to stay for the night, and in the morning I wake up and decide like I just cannot deal with this. I will knew that was knitted on a smaller, and the fit is not the same as the pattern was called for. So I rip it all back, do the yoke, pick up stitches again, put the right size of needles, and knit again with 2 sets of short rows, and yeah. But I think it was, in the end, it was worth it, because it just stuck in a stitch. I don't have that much time for knitting now, but it worsted by yarn, so I basically knit a yoke like in 2 days. I don't mean that I was sitting all day and knitting this, but I knit this when I had the time. Then I knit a body in 2 days again. Yeah, so I used 2 more extra days to reknit the body, and then I was knitted sleeves. The one thing with the sleeves, I will probably reknit that again, because they was good on me before I block it, but after I block it, they are too long, and yeah, if that wasn't Colorwork in the end, that I will probably like just roll the sleeves or something like that. But if I will roll the sleeves now, then I will miss this Colorwork, and I'm not really big person, so when things look too big, it look like I borrowed this from someone, and that's not suits me. So I think what I will do, I will pick up stitches here before I went to Colorwork and just rip some rows back and then Kitchener stitch this together again. Yeah, but as I tell, the sweater is really nice. I post the pictures on my Ravelry and on my Instagram, and now in the pattern page, if you go through the projects, you also can see this. Yeah, I probably insert some picture of me wearing sweater while I'll talk about this, but yeah, I really like it. I think the yarn is called Lana Gato. It's a company, and yarn is called Everest, but I don't remember exactly colors what I used, but they're on my project page. So yeah, that is my biggest finished object for today, and then I have 3 smaller projects. Yes, so my first smaller finished project is the socks. I think I showed that last time, but it wasn't finished yet. But now I finished that. In the beginning of this year, I was knitting socks like a crazy, but now I kind of like slow down on them. I don't know, I just think I need them too much, because I count and I already have like, I don't know, 10 pairs of socks this year. Yeah. So now I kind of like don't really want to knit socks, but I still have a lot of sock yarn, so I will probably knit them later. Yeah, so I will show you one. I didn't blog them yet. It should be, don't know, I believe men's size like 40. Yeah, 40, maybe 41. This yarn what I use here is, again, I told before, I bought this in a shop where they selling products for like building products. Yeah, that's strange, but here in Denmark the yarn is everywhere. Yes, and for this socks I made the after saw heel. That was the heel what I started to knit socks with, and that was really easy, and I didn't want it to make I lose my sock module when I was knitting these socks, and I just was doing everything to knit them faster and finish it, and the easiest option for me is this afterthought heel. There is one thing why I don't like to do this, because then I have too much ends to weave after this. But yes, again, about the color of yarn, all information are on my Ravelry page, or write to me and I will tell. But it's really nice. My husband told that it have like camouflage effect, like army use it. Yeah, there's something in that, but I think it's kind of like nice socks. Yeah, so that is my first small finished object. My second small finished object is also socks, and them I believe I need even longer as that one. I also use afterthought heel, and I don't move any ends yet. It should be for the size 39, and I had this mild yarn in my stash for a long time, already make some socks from that before, and I just was wanted to finish that, so I knitted that socks. I didn't make two at a time, but I just measured the yarn, weighed the yarn, and split this in half. And I didn't had enough yarn for the heel, so all socks are like one color and heel is another color, and it's also mild yarn. But this main color, it had like gray, red and blue, but mild color it have like gray, black and orange. Yeah, they kind of like by colors, they don't go together, but if you look side with them, they look okay. And yes, I have two of them. They wasn't block, they wasn't wash, they wasn't moving the ends, and I need them toe up with afterthought heel, and I finished them with tubular cast off. Saying now is my favorite. Now I find out how to do this properly, how to do this nice, and yes, it's taking time, but I really like how they look, how the finished object looks, so I will continue to do this now, because my favorite way to knit the socks is toe up, and I was struggling with the bind off. Yes, but now with tubular by now it's working really nice. Yeah, so that's my third finished object, and I have one more, and I believe I didn't show it last time. Yeah, I don't know how this happened, maybe I didn't cast it that time, but yeah, this is Musselburgh hat by Ysolda knits, and I knit one of this hat. I show one of this hat on the previous podcast. I made this for my husband. It was like army green color, and yarn was a little thicker as this. This one I knit from light fingering yarn. Yeah, I cannot tell a lot about this yarn. I remember that I bought this 2 or 3 years ago when I was going to visit my parents in Ukraine, but I don't have a tag. I don't remember anything. I remember that this was wool and nylon blend, and it was light fingering yarn, because but I had a lot left over of this yarn, so I decided to make this hat. I like the color. I thought that it will be a natural color and will be nice. So I need that hat, and I want to show you. I didn't block it yet, and I still have stitch markers, and it's look like strange, like why it's stitch markers somewhere. This first one, it was just marking that the place where I start to just knit without increases. But another stitch marker just was marking how much I get to make in a day, and they going all over like yeah, it was just like the way that I can see how much I can make. Yeah, I need adult size M I believe. Maybe S. I believe M. I will put this down below which size I need. And I really like it. I will don't put this on the head now because I have headband, but yeah, maybe I will try to insert the picture if I have some. But it's really nice project, and I really like it. And I was participating in a call by Crazy Sock Lady. She made the call for this hat, and I need two. And I found out this week that I actually win some prize. Yeah, so that was really fun. But I like this project a lot. I like this hat. I like how it fit. I like that it's something like easy project what I can take with me. So I basically cast on one more. I had some leftover of this yarn even after I finished this hat. And because this was knit in light fingering weight yarn, it weighed like, I don't know, around 60 gram. But my husband had weighed more than 100 gram. So yeah, I think I will be going for light fingering weight yarn for this hat from now. So yeah, as I tell, I cast on one more of this hat, and that is all what I have for this hat. So I kind of like plain yarn chicken, but I have a yarn what is really similar construction, but it's different color, but I think they go in nice together. So I will look how much I go with that. If that is enough, okay, my goal is that will be enough that you can see just this color, and then in the end it will be that darker color. But if it's not that, then I will look if that is enough for this inside part, like if it's enough for that, then I will continue it another color, and then I will have hat what will be in this color, but I also think it's quite nice, and inside will be in this lighter color. I just want to use this because if I will just leave this line around, then it will probably never will be used again, and this is a waste of yarn. So yeah, really like this pattern. I feel like now it's my project like socks was before, then just some stockinette stitch pattern where I don't need to concentrate that much on, and when I can just knit when I'm reading or knit when I'm going to pick up my son from school, or some another time when I just need to wait for something, or when I can knit while I'm actually doing something like reading. So yeah, that was one more project what I made this time, and it's not a knitted project, but I used some yarn here. So yes, my idea was to make a bag from the old jeans. Yeah, because I feel like jeans fabric is really sturdy and it's good for bags and other things. And there is just some stage of jeans when you know that you shouldn't wear these jeans anymore. Yeah, some holes can be fixed, and it's okay to fix holes. It's nice to use the clothes as long as we can, but some holes it's not nice to fix, and it's not nice to wear after, and yeah. So basically this one was a try. It's not that good as I was expecting, and yeah, I didn't like the construction. I believe that I put too much, I cut too big. When you need the back, you cut the corners to make it like, to make the square bottom. But I believe that I cut too much, so my back is strange shape, but that one is just for me, so I'm okay with that. Another mistake what I make, I forgot that you first should sew a zipper and then sew on another bag. Next time will be smarter. This time I was sewing the zipper inside by my hands, and I know that there will come a time when I will rip it all back and sew this again, because it's not look nice. Like that we can look and like, yeah, it's so nice bag, but yeah. And that what I use here, I use like, I embroider this bag, and I believe it's called sashiko stitches. So I just look for some pattern, look how I would like to do this, and yeah. And I use leftovers of yarn what cannot be already in use in anything. I have like a small glass can, and I'm putting leftovers of yarn what cannot be used already anywhere, like in my blanket, cause memory blanket. I need at least 3 grams of yarn for the square. If that is like, if I have less, like a gram or something like that, it cannot be used there. So I put leftovers like that, and I pick up the color from that and put it here. But I think I really like it, and I'm making another bag right now. Just hope to get more time, but it will be bigger. It will have the same pattern already, stitch it down, but it will be smaller, and we will see how that will look. Because I have quite a lot, I was putting aside quite a lot of jeans what cannot be worn anymore, but I feel like it's just best to just put them to trash if you still can make something out of that. But yeah, this size I think is great for the socks or hat. Like, I think it's around 100-gram yarn and needles, and I make project for, and it still can be a lot. And then it's sewed and sturdy at the same time. And inside I use just like plain cotton. It's like natural color. Yeah, I hope to make some bags like that in the future, but just think through all steps now. Start with zipper. Yes. And now about work in progress. First work in progress I already showed you. It's this hat, Musselburgh hat. And then I have one more big project, but I didn't show on a podcast yet. But I have a lot of pictures of that on my Instagram, so you can go and see that in a progress, like what I was starting with and how it went. Before it was living in this bag from French supply, what I get like a second hand. So I bought this from someone who didn't wanted to use it, or what, I didn't ask, but someone was selling this this bag, I bought it. Right now it just yarn can get last, this ball can get there, and I have a lot of labels. When I was decided to need this project, I think I should start with the project. So I have no idea how to show it, it's so big. No way. I don't know what you can see. I think all what you can see is like 2 colors, something really big. But no, it's not blanket. No, if you think it's blanket, it's not. It's wrap. It's half and half triangle wrap by Purl Soho. And there's a lot of people who started to knit this. Yeah, and I decided that I want to join and also knit one of that. I looked, there's a lot, it's a free pattern by Purl Soho, and you can find them on the site. Yeah, and there was a lot, they have a lot of yarn what they recommend for that, but I didn't want it to buy a yarn and ship things from States. And yeah, there was one shawl what was knitted in a pink and red, and I really like it, but I knew right away that red isn't my color, so I decided to knit this in pink and gray. I don't know how it's look for you, but it's actually gray color. It's like light gray. Yeah, so I thought like what I can use, and I wanted this bright pink yarn. Then I remembered that there was a yarn from shop here in Denmark, Garn or Salk, and they had the yarn, would call it it's like sock yarn. It was called Sock It, and it had this bright pink color, but they don't produce this yarn anymore. So if you want to look for this yarn, you can just look somewhere on this stash or something like that. So I started to look first on Ravelry, and first I saw the pattern calls for 200 gram of each color. So I found one person who was selling this yarn in the pink color, and I dropped the stitches. No way. So yes, I don't remember if that was exactly this gray or some another color, but that was that. So the person had like 200 gram of this pink, 200 gram of gray. So I bought this from this person. She sent this to me. I was really happy. Then I looked on pattern again and realized that pattern calls for 200 gram for the small size, and I was wanted to knit the big one. So I decided like I will look more for this yarn. If no, then I will make small, but I would like to do big. So I looked more. There is like a group on the Facebook for people who are selling yarn. Okay, it's not for people who sell yarn. It's for people who like that shop, but sometimes you can post the pictures there like I'm looking for this yarn, if someone have it. And if someone will have it, they will, and they are willing to sell you that, then you can get it yarn. So yeah, I post the picture that I'm looking for that yarn, and I get a lot of people responding that they have this in the stash, because the yarn was quite affordable at that time. I believe that many people bought this just to have, and then didn't had what to do with this. So yeah, so I figured out how to get one more ball of this pink yarn and gray, and yeah, then it started. I bought also some blue yarn, another gray color, and another blue color. So in the end, instead of buying 6 skein of yarn, I bought 16. But yeah, do I feel bad about this? Maybe, but not that much. But this project is something that I cannot just leave. That's taken a lot of time, and it's taken a lot, pressure. It just gather stitch, so it's not the pattern is free, so you can go and look. It's not that hard, but it's like long. For the big size you cast on 260 stitches, and then for the first part of triangle, what for me was this pink color, so you cast on, really afraid to lose the stitches, you cast on this side. I don't know how good you can see it. I think it's more than as big as I can put hands, because I have this on the tips of the fingers, and I think if when I will wash and block it, it will be even bigger. So yeah, you cast on this amount of stitches, and then you go into the end, and you make in short rows, and you work in back and forwards, and you kind of like decreasing. You're not decreasing actually, you just leaving them on another needle. Yeah, you double your stitch, because already a lot of people made this project, so there was some recommendation. One of recommendation was to make like nice edge, so I went for this. It's just like the way when you last 3 stitches you don't need them on the wrong size, you just slip them, and then on the right side you needed them. So yeah, I was doing this. I didn't wove any ends yet, so that won't look that nice, but I think it's look nicer with this 3 stitches slipped and that knit on another side. And another thing, I went for another short rows. I also wasn't doing wrap and turn, I was making yarn over on a stitch. But there was one thing, this yarn, almost all ball don't have 100 gram in that. So my first ball was missing, don't remember, like 5 grams or something like this, and in the end, if 3 of your balls was missing around 5 grams, then you're missing like around 15 grams in the end. And with ends and all these things, I was playing yarn chicken. I thought cannot finish it first triangle. So when I went to the end, I will not show you now I will show. So if you look on my projects from the back, I have some ends on this last row everywhere. I wove them some while I was knitting, but basically what I was doing, I knit as much as I could, and then I was cutting leftovers from the yarn what I joined before, and was going with that. And then when I pick up all double stitches, I didn't have the yarn for going back again, wrong size. So what I made, I joined the gray color on a right size, so I just slipped the stitches back and started again. So yeah, maybe it looked different as a pattern called for, but it's good enough for me. I like it. And now I'm knitting on the second triangle, and the second triangle you actually starting with the smaller amount of stitches and then you go into bigger. So the second triangle you start here, and you again working in short rows and picking up one more stitch next time. And I have less than 30 stitches to pick up, so to pick up one stitch you actually do 2 rows, because you do right and wrong. Yep, I have less than 30 stitches, but now I have more than 200, like 230 stitches on a row, and to do one and another side is like 460. 460. That's a lot, so I don't know when I will finish this, but I will like to finish it. And that's all yarn what I have left. I already joined third ball, and if it ends somewhere, I don't know, like 2 rows before, because the yarn is also missing the cramps and meterage. So it's not the fault of the people who were selling me the yarn, it's how it was produced. Yeah, I don't know, maybe they was measuring yarn with the labels, or I don't know how that was done. It's good enough, but I understand why they didn't produce that anymore. Yeah, I hope to finish this as fast as I can, because it's getting warm now and it's hard to deal with all this yarn now. When it was smaller it was okay, but now it actually look like a blanket more as a wrap, and it's just hard to have this on a knee, and it's hard to turn this around. Before I was using this a lot when I was reading. I still do this, but I need like a pause while I'm reading, when I'm turning the row, because I need to move all that amount of knitted fabric. Yeah, and as I told before, it's get hard for me to do this, so I'm trying to motivate myself. On the previous triangle, I marked just when there was a half, so I put the stitch marker. I have this with the scissors, so I just put this when it was 130 stitches. And on this one triangle I actually make same, so I mark 130 stitches with this another marker. No, good, you can see it's a Christmas tree, but I just used the first what I find, and then I was marking every 10 rows, because it keeps me going. It's shown me that I have progress, that I am on my way, and I just can see like, okay, it's not that much in front, so I can make it. So it just to stimulate myself to keep going. But I think it's quite easy to do, and that helped me. Another thing what I'm also doing to help myself to continue, I'm using stitch markers also on the rows where I'm knitting. So this was mark 100 stitches, this one 200, and then I don't use the marker in the end. I don't know, I just don't feel need for that, because you can easily see this double stitch. Yeah, so basically that is all what I need to finish, but because to pick up one stitch I need to make more than 460 rows. That is taking time, but yeah, I think next time when I will be recording I already will have finished this, and I will try to record more frequently, not once in a month, but yeah, just had a lot things at university now, and there's a lot of deadlines, and I need to finish all that. And yeah, Denmark, it's partly opening now, so my son is going to school. My daughter is going to gymnasium like every second week, and there is a lot to things that should be taken care of, like she should be tested twice a week, so it's also taking the time. And yes, it is a lot of things which should be done. Let's done like that. But yeah, I'm happy to work on this project. I didn't cast anything else for now, because I just want to finish with this. Yeah, and because I don't have that much time for knitting now, I'm just looking for some easy projects, and when it just garter stitch or stockinette stitch, then this is easy for me. But I think it's okay. That will become, well, I'm not worrying that I will stop knitting. I know that will become time when I will want to knit more complicated things again. But yeah, that was all for me for today. Thank you for joining me. As I told before, I will try to record next video more frequently. Normally I'm recording once in 2 weeks. So yeah, you can follow me here on Instagram, here on YouTube, but I'm post more frequently on Instagram, and you can see all my finished objects or work in progress, and I mostly post about my knitting there on Instagram. Yeah, that was all for me. I hope you're all well. I hope you have a good weather and you can enjoy it in these hard times. Yeah, thank you all and see you next time. Hi.